right, welcome back. Now, when governments at the local level fail in their responsibilities, the consequences on the citizens could be dire. And that's exactly what we have playing out in local governments across the country, where public facilities are absent, and in places where they exist, they are completely run down. We visited a community known as Kurum in Kaduna in Igabi local government area of Kaduna State, that's in northwest Nigeria, recently, to see what the state of the only health facility and primary school are in that area. Take a look at what we discovered. In every way, it looks like a long abandoned building. Part of the roof has been blown off. Some of the windows and doors have given way. Inside, it looks completely desolate, further entrenching the feeling this is an abandoned property. Welcome to Angwankudu Health Center, Kurum in Kaduna, in Igabi local government area of Kaduna State, northwest Nigeria. It's the only health facility in a community of around 1 million people, sitting just less than 3 kilometers from the main Kaduna metropolis.
As you see, Kurum in Kaduna, it comprises almost 10 villages. That is Ngwankudu, Mashigi, Makwalla, Kahuta, Tudu 1, Tudu 2, and Kurum in Kaduna. All these communities collectively depend on these health services.
It's a Wednesday morning and the health center has come alive with some activities. Mothers have brought their children for immunization. At the center of activities here is Binta Usman. She's the only medical worker the government has attached to the rundown health center and has been working here for 3 years now.
No equipment for the working in the clinic. No enough of the staff. Bedded, anything. No drawers, no delivery items. Common minor surgery, minor equipment. And something, bed sheet, bed and mattress, and other materials on the clinic. See the clinic, ma. Last 2 months, the roofing, after the rain, the zinc is coiled. So, no enough of staff, no attendance. Only me in the clinic. I'm the in charge, and I'm the staff, I'm the attendant.
She used to come here from Monday to Friday with that, so she used to also stay for some hours. So the issue is that only our youth organization trying to give one of the volunteers who are assisting that staff to continue to run their own work, which are within the weeks. So is that issue, honestly, we are facing great challenges because if something happens with our people, especially the older elders, women and men like that, we used to carry them from here to town, which is not far, but the problem is that we have a boundary, that boundary is a river Kaduna.
The 2 young men assisting her here are volunteers from the youth association in the community. Without their assistance, the skeletal services that still take place here would have ceased.
This community have been trying, calling the attentions of government, most especially Kaduna State government, to come to our aid due to the situations we find ourselves, most especially the women. They suffer a lot. We wrote a lot to our reps, to our members, to our chairmen, to Ministry of Health, but up to now there is no response. A lot of NGOs have been trying to see that this community survive, but up to now we don't know what is happening.
Access to the community is through this river. If there was a medical emergency at odd hours, the chances of survival are very slim.
We are very close to the major cities of Kaduna State, but the major challenges we have is the river, lack of roads.
Mostly they used to give birth in their house, but on our way to take them to hospital, by taking them using bike, bicycle, wheelbarrow, etc. like that. Some they used to give birth in the wheelbarrow, some on the bike, or when we reach the river, we enter canoe. Some they used to give birth in the canoe, and some they used to die on the process of going to the primary health care, and some they used to get delivered on the way.
The state government has spent massively on health in the past years. In 2017, its health budget was 10.49 billion naira. In 2018, it went up to about 18.5 billion. And in 2019, the government plans to spend 13.1 billion naira on the health sector. But the Angwankudu Health Center has certainly not benefited from the huge spending.
We are calling for the government at least to come to our aid, to see the situations we find ourselves. We have been complaining to the federal government, state government, even the local government, but up to now there is no response. People are dying. We, the members of this community, contribute buying the medicine, the medical equipment for our people, for our residents of this locality. Indeed, we are suffering a lot. There's no light. As you see the hospital now, there's no light. There's no, all these beds you see, they are being bought by the members of our initiatives. That is Kuruman Kaduna Youth Actions and Awareness Forum. And also some medicines we have been contributed by some of NGOs like CAN, like Turn of the Moon, and other initiatives. That is how we are managing our lives.
It's not just the health center in Kurumin Kaduna that is giving the people of the community a serious cause for concern. The only primary school they have is literally dead and perhaps waiting to be buried. This is a typical class in session. With no single desk available, the pupils take their lessons sitting on the bare rough floor. It's the same situation in all the classrooms in the school.
From our records, our register, we have over 3,000 students, pupils in this school, from primary 1 to primary 6. For example, in primary 2 alone, the class which I take, I have over 80 students in my register. Yes. We are facing a lot of physical challenges. Number one, we don't have classrooms. Our classrooms in this school don't have roofs, they don't have doors, and learning materials, we do not have blackboards that we can teach our students to write on. And we don't have chairs and tables for the pupils. In fact, the staff, the teachers don't even have chairs and tables for them to sit and write with. We are facing a lot of challenges, in fact.
Virtually all the buildings in the school have become a death trap, oblivious to the innocent children. The state government says it gives priority to education. It plans to spend 25.4 billion on capital projects in the education sector alone this year. In 2018, its education budget was more than 33 billion naira, and in 2017, it was 44.84 billion naira. But on the evidence at this school, those budgets have had no impact whatsoever in the lives of these pupils or their schools.
During rainy season, sometimes we gather them in a class where there is coverage for them, where the rain will not beat them. We take those who are in the classrooms that have no roof, and then we bring them to the classes where they have roof. But when that happens, it means there will be no teaching. because the classes that we take them to are usually classes of their seniors, like primary 6. And you cannot bring the students of primary 2, primary 1, 2, and 3 to primary 6, and then you start teaching all of them. They all take different subjects and different curriculum. So whenever there is rain, teaching stops, most especially for the junior classes.
It's a tough one for the people of Kurum in Kaduna. They're battling with a completely run-down health center and a run-down school in a community without a single road network. They continue to wait on their government, hoping that someday it would see their plight and do something about it. But until that happens, they will continue to make do with their dilapidated health center and near-collapsed primary school.